Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live, number 233. Yeah, number 233 for this Wednesday, January 7th. I'm your host, Rod, here in sunny Philadelphia. Well, at least it was sunny when the show started, and then, oh no, it's coming back out. You can see it now. The white balance is caught up, but you can see it. Here in sunny Philadelphia with some of my good friends in the chat. How you guys doing today? Good morning. Good morning to Mitch. Good morning, Dr. Lane. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning to Rob. I appreciate you guys for being here. This is the show where we talk about today's eInk. We talk about today's tech news of the day. Get into some random stuff. Probably got a lot of that today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about a couple of things from CES as well. CES is going on right now. We got our man on the street. Our eInk's very own Vlad. Vlad's over there doing his thing. I appreciate him for all the work he's putting in. But let's get to the holidays up first here. First holiday we got is going to be National Tempura Day. I had to look up tempura. I didn't know what that was, so let's all take a look at tempura and see what the heck that is. Here we go. I think I'm saying it right, tempura. I think I've heard it said before. I just didn't know what it was. So tempura is a Japanese dish of seafood and vegetables coated in a light, airy batter and deep fried, resulting in a crispy, non-greasy texture. Okay, all right, I'm digging it. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not digging the shrimp portion of this, but the vegetable portion, we're good to go. Originating from 16th century Portuguese missionaries. So, very interesting. Okay, so it's a seafood, vegetable, battered thing. Good to go. What else we got here? Harlem Globetrotters Day. And I didn't know when it started. I had to look up Harlem Globetrotters. The AI mode has way better information than all. I don't know when that started happening, but here we are. Founded January 7, 1927. Basketball team, if you guys didn't know. They go around playing other teams, but they're actually, now, when I was growing up, I thought Globetrotters were just some funny dudes. They just didn't know what they were doing. They was there to entertain. But these are guys that are really good at basketball, but for whatever reason, I don't know, they don't play on NBA teams, but for whatever reason it is, they entertain, and I think it's interesting. And I think they're going to be here in Philadelphia soon. I think they're coming to Philly soon. I think I saw that on the AI overview. But regardless, next thing we got up here for holidays is going to be International Programmers Day. To all my programmers out there, my brother included, big up to my brother. I got to call my brother back today. Big up to all the programmers out there. Listen, don't let AI get you down. Where's my sentimental music? Listen, don't let AI get you down, programmers, okay? They'll never be able to replace you, ever. Of course, it's fast. Of course, it does a lot of stuff. It helps debug, compile. You know what I'm talking about. Just don't let it. We need programmers out there. Skilled programmers are going to be in high demand. Skilled programmers. Like my brother, he skilled it. He's skilled it and he's gilded. We'll stop there right there. Okay, moving on. What's next we got here? Rando news. For rando stuff, listen, I wanted to give my opinions on a couple of movies I saw. Just to get this out the way, pop culture rando. A couple of movies are high on everyone's best movies of 25 list. So I watched Sinners and I watched One Thing After Another. You guys, anybody out there see that? Anybody out there see any one of these things? Now, I'm going to just be upfront. We're going to start with Sinners, okay? Not sure how you guys felt. Inconsistencies throughout the whole thing. Was it entertaining? Yes. Super entertaining. Just inconsistent. Why don't vampires run when the lights come in? Like, you as a vampire, I mean, you're not a zombie. You still have your wits about you. They're playing music, they're jamming, but they don't know enough. They know chords, but they don't know enough to get out of the sun before it comes out. That makes them dumber than zombies to me. So I don't know. Then how did the sister and the brother escape the sunlight as well? None of the other vampires are smart enough to leave out of the sunlight, but they were somehow. For whatever, just inconsistencies with the vampires, okay? I thought it was entertaining, though. One Thing After Another. Leonardo DiCaprio. Although I did like in Sinners that the fact that what is his name? I don't know the dude who played both parts in Sinners. Let's find out. He did an awesome job playing both parts. Michael B. Jordan. Okay, so Michael B. Jordan did an awesome job playing both parts in Sinners. But you know what? You know who stole the show from me? It wasn't Michael B. Jordan. It was the kid with the guitar. The kid with the guitar stole the show from me. It was just that's just how it was. So if you watch Sinners, pay attention to the kid with the guitar. That's the star. That's the star. Michael B. Jordan did his thing because he played two roles, but he wasn't very convincing as a Southerner, in my opinion. Being from the South myself, just not very convincing. Not very convincing, but the kid was. I would even go so far. You know what? I should probably look this kid up. Miles. Let's see. Miles Caton. Is he an actual? I think he's an actual singer. What is he? He is a singer. So all right. So that makes sense. Okay. Never mind. Brooklyn-born actor and singer. Can we see this? Okay. So this is the guy. He did a way better job in acting than Michael B. Jordan did, in my opinion, especially with the Southern like accent, especially considering he's from Brooklyn. Good job, dude. Good job. Okay, moving on. What else we got here? One thing after another. To me, Sinners was better and more entertaining. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio in the list of people in the movie. I saw Benicio del Toro in the list of people in the movie. I saw Tiana Taylor. I saw who else is in there? Not Pitt, but oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot the guy's name. All-star cast. I'm thinking it's gonna be a ride. I've been let down by mainstream's thought of what really good movies are. So I'm going to stay away from that. Indie movies for me only in 2026, okay? Shallow characters, meaningless, secret. There's a secret society involved in it. Meant nothing to the story. I don't even know why it was even in there. Meant literally nothing to the story. I don't know. I just didn't. I watched it because I had devoted an hour to it before I realized what was going on. I'm like, okay, it's not for me. Okay, but moving on. All right, you guys. I think we got a couple more things for randos. Oh yeah, Meta shortage could be RAM related. So we talked about Meta's like AI glasses shortage, the display variant with the wristband. So we talked about that, and I was like, I don't know why there's a shortage of these things. I didn't think they were that impressive, to be honest. When I went to do my demo, I was listening to a podcast the other day, daily tech news headlines. And they were talking about how it could be due to RAM shortages. And I was like, okay, that would make sense. I'm like, that would totally make sense of why the Meta RayBans have a shortage right now, and they're not like, and they can't meet demand. I'm like, the demand didn't even seem that high to me, to be honest. So how are y'all not meeting demand? It could be RAM related, and they're just not saying that. They're using the supply shortage like they're selling so many. Demand is so high they can't meet it. The demand for RAM could just be so high they can't meet that. But the point is, they have a shortage of devices, and I definitely think that's a plausible reason for why that could be, because I definitely do not think it's demand, just like I stated yesterday. TCL Tablet Is Not eInk. I've got a couple comments from people on yesterday's show talking about how they like the TCL tablet. Now, let's pull this up real quick. If people like the TCL tablet, the TCL next paper. Is it the A1? I think this is it right here. All right, so, oh no, this is not it. They have a TCL e-paper. So they have a tablet out that they're calling e-paper. And it's for writing. Let's see if we can bring this up here. Okay, I can't seem to find that particular one right now, but they have a next paper. Maybe I'll put next paper there. And I think All right, no, there it is right there. All right, so this is just a look at it right here. This TCL Next paper there. So everyone's like, and I don't blame TCL entirely for this, although they do share some of the blame for this, for the confusion here. This is not eInk, even though a lot of people are calling it eInk, and a lot of people are comparing it to other or to eInk devices. I'll say not other because this is not an eInk device. This is just LCD. I just want to keep making this clear that TCL Next paper devices are not eInk. The mainstream media has touted them as that and are comparing them to eInk devices. And TCL doesn't help by calling it e-paper when it's really LCD. It just, I don't know, it muddies the waters a little bit. And I just want to make that known again, is that, you know, anyone out there thinking this is eInk, it's not. And people are like, oh, I don't like this. I'm going back to this because I don't like the way eInk looks. I'm like, well, if you don't like the way eInk looks, that's fair, right? That's a fair criticism of eInk if you just don't like the aesthetic of it. But to call something else an entirely different technology better would be like, it would be like calling a Godox light better than a Sony camera. It's like, well, those are two different technologies for two different things there. Like what you know what I mean? It's, I don't know. It's hard for me to parse that when people say that. You know what I mean? So just to make it clear, this is an LCD technology that's just black and white. It's a monochrome LCD. There's nothing new happening here. They just took the color out. They made LCD worse. Okay, that's what they did here. And they're calling it better for your eyes when eInk is the superior product for being for eye fatigue, in my opinion, for a host of reasons. But for one of those, you don't need a light for eInk. You don't need any illumination. This is LCD. You need illumination. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. People like it does not make it e-paper. People like it does not make it e-paper. Yeah, and people like it, and I get that, and that's what I told one of the people in the comments is that, you know, I understand you like it, but that doesn't mean it's e-paper, and that doesn't mean I don't like it because it's not a good product. It may be a good product for some people, but my problem with this product, and my problem even with the portable one, is that they're calling it e-paper when it's just LCD. Love Daily Tech News. Have your super sparkly day. Thanks, eInk. Don't really care that it's not eInk. I'm not a big fan of the design, and the design is old too. Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. The design is not that current. It's why would you make an eInk design for an LCD panel, especially when they've shown they can use eInk, this next paper, in a form factor that's more akin to what you would find in a cell phone with the next paper Ultra 60. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, but just to put that out there. All right, so Palma 2 Pro case coming. So I'm going to design a Palma 2 Pro case. We've been talking about it in the Discord, and I've been put in contact with another gentleman whose designs I really, really like. So I'm going to be in connection with this person, trying to see how we can work together on a design for the Palma 2 Pro. Something to fit a pen in, something sleek and to fit a pen in. Do I have this site up here? Yeah, I like the roundness of the designs here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah. So I'm really liking the roundness of these designs, and shout out to eInk for pointing me in the direction of this particular designer here. I like the roundness of it. I like how they're doing it and handling it. It goes with the aesthetic of the device. And most things that they've done, it's very, very creative stuff I like. And it looks like they are taking the cosmetics seriously, and that's one of my big things there. Things can look good but also be functional. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm gonna be trying to come up with my own little design that I think is good, and maybe we can collaborate and try to mesh the two in some kind of way, maybe. But that's gonna be coming, so I'm gonna be working on that in the near future here, because I think that's one of the things the Palma 2 Pro is missing. It's missing a spot for the pen, and if there's a spot for the pen, although my design is a little more, my initial take on the design is gonna be a little more all-encompassing as a folding case. You know what I mean? That's my idea straight off the cuff. Let me know how you guys think, what you guys think about that. All right, let's go on to the tech news. All right. I'm gonna nail that transition at some point. That was not good. Okay, moving on. OpenAI has an AI pen. Now we talked a long time, a few months ago. We talked about OpenAI working with Johnny Ive and actually buying Johnny Ive's design firm. I forgot what this called though. What is it? What was it? I forgot what the name of that design firm was. Let's see if we can find out. What is it called here? I don't think they mentioned it here. They do mention it. OpenAI's acquired Johnny Ive's design firm for 6.5 billion, underscoring the importance of design. They don't mention the name of Johnny Ive's company though, which sucks. I think it's Love Incorporated or something like that. Oh, Love Form. Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate that. The dollar special says, why do you think Onyx comes so close to making a full-fledged eInk phone? Does it commit to actually pulling the trigger? Well, there's probably a lot of reasons for that. Cost is one. I guarantee it. They want to make most margins off of each launch as they can. I've realized that about Onyx. Love Form is Ive's firm. Thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate that. Why do you think the Onyx comes? I think we already did. They are also software developers as well. Cool peeps. That's why I like the asymmetric bezels on a lot of eInk. It gives you a place to hold the device. Funny that makers are adding that back with cases. Yeah. My design is going to be a little more on the folding to make the thing as thin as possible. I thought about a lot of designs adding some bulk to the case, so that was my initial thought. Just add a little bulk. Who cares? You're going to have a pen. I have a better idea. So, and I think it's going to work really well. And it's not something that hasn't been done before. People are doing this. I'm just going to do it for the Palma 2 Pro. It'll be easy, I think. The Palma 2 Pro doesn't have magnets, does it? I haven't tried a case with it, so I'm not sure if it's magnetic or not. Although, it's definitely not magnetic. There are no magnets in the back of this thing. I just tried it on the whiteboard. So, all right, moving on. Let's take a look at here what we got for Johnny Ive and the pen. Now, what do we think about this, you guys? I think we're pretty much writing instrument enthusiasts here, a lot of us. And the thought initially was, man, this is going to make it hard for people who are designing pens. That was my initial take. This is going to make it difficult for anyone designing a pen in 2026. Because they got Johnny Ive on the job. He's arguably one of the most prolific designers of our generation when it comes to tech. And yeah, and now he's designing a pen. Oh my goodness. How do you follow that up? If you're a pen what do you do? I mean, this is going to be difficult. Magnets would be on the pen, not the device. Device would have metal plates. Well, in the case of eInk devices, though, you're right. So, but I guess the point I guess I'm making is this doesn't have any metal in the back because it doesn't stick to my whiteboard. You're right. The whiteboard has the magnet, and this is the metal. You're right. Good point. Thank you. Appreciate that, DeRock. But yeah, there's no metal in the back of the Palma 2 Pro because it doesn't stick to magnets. So you would have to figure out a different way to do that. That was my initial thought, was that this thing had metal in the back, so you could just, slap a magnetic back on it and then go to town. After you do that everything else is downhill. Yeah. So now we got to figure out something else. Now we got to figure out. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'll send you some preliminary designs. Okay. Good thing people really love charging pens. Oh my goodness. Oh my man. Yeah, this is gonna be. Yeah, that's gonna be the sucky part. You're gonna have to charge the pen. You know, that's gonna suck. They need some inductive charging on this thing. That's all you would need, really. Just get the pen close enough to the inductive coil, and you're good to go. Somebody needs to do that. Green says, would it also do the handwriting calligraphy for you? Yeah, it would. Grease, lightning. It definitely would. All right, moving on. So all right. So now, I think it. What do we think about this pen? So this is what first off I thought that it's because it's going to kill anybody thinking about designing a pen. It's going to be very hard. Okay, you're going to have to be very creative when you design a pen in 2026 because Johnny Ive is on the job and he's going to do something that no one thought about doing in a way that no one thought about doing because he's got the money to do it and the brain. Secondly, I thought, well, what is it going to do? Is it going to be able to write on any surface? I hear it has the microphones. It has a camera. It's got. Let's look. Or you know what? Let's look at some of the details here. What do we got? All right. What have we learned about this thing? They're saying it's going to be the size of an iPod, which doesn't bode well. Okay. Maybe there's a chance for us pen designers in 2026. Did I say us? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. OpenAI is developing an AI-powered pen code named Gumdrop, so set to launch between 2026 and 2027, featuring contextual awareness, handwritten to text conversion. Okay, all right, and two-way voice communication. See, this is gonna hurt so much. Anybody designing a pen. The pen is designed as a minimalist, screenless third device to complement smartphones and laptops, emphasizing simplicity and functionality. Privacy concerns arise due to always-on cameras and microphones, alongside challenges like consumer skepticism, entrenched habits, and high price range of $400 to $600. What? $400 to $600 for this pen? All right, pen designers in 2026, there's still a chance for you. There's still a chance for you in 2026, pen designers. OpenAI collaborates with designer Johnny Ive and has shifted manufacturing to Vietnam and the U.S. to ensure quality and mitigate supply chain risk. To succeed, OpenAI must differentiate the pen from competitors like AI-powered smart glasses, addressing privacy and cost concerns, and position it as a complementary productivity tool. Now, there's a lot going on here. All right. So first of all, I wholeheartedly think that the glasses is the perfect wearable for AI. Period. Point blank. This is not going to change my mind on that. Your laptop, phone, glasses. Period. There may be a fourth thing, the pen, maybe. But this is not going to overtake the glasses as the prime spot to have AI on a wearable. In my opinion, this doesn't change that for me. And think about it. Who's carrying around a pen? All right. Let's be logical here, chat. Let's be logical here. Who's carrying around a pen just all willy-nilly? I just got done talking about how I want to make a case that holds the pen for the Palma 2 Pro because I don't want to carry a pen independent of a device. Why the hell would I want this? This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea in my opinion. Jody, how's it going? Thanks for coming. If they figure it out on scale, probably $100, we are done. $100? Okay, I'll take a chance on it. $4 to $6 though? No. You can't wear a screen all the time on your eyes. It feels right for the glasses. The glasses I think are cool. The glasses I think is the perfect place. We've never designed a device so easy to lose. I've in a white room. Yeah. I've always kept a pen on me in my pocket. Yeah, but not a $400-$600 pen, because I guarantee you, how many pens do you lose, Aaron? Just like Mitch just brought up. How many pens do you lose like that? We don't care because they're 5 cents. We just, whatever. You're not keeping an e-ink pen in your pocket. I know you're not doing that. You do not have 2 e-ink pens in your pocket right now, Aaron. Stop it. Mitch says the $400 to $600 range isn't for the pen. It's for existing AI enabled devices. Oh. Oh, okay. So that we could be wrong about that. I thought they were saying the pen was $400 to $600. If I'm wrong about that, my bad. We gotta see what the price is then, because at the $400 to $600 range, no. At the $100 range, I would definitely take a chance on it. Who brought that up? Jody. I would at the $100 range, I would definitely try it. I don't know. AirPods seem really easy to lose. They seem to litter train stations at the tracks. Why do you guys think that device would you want? Do you care about cheaper AI or privacy? I don't care about privacy anymore. I would definitely want cheaper. I want AI to be cheaper for sure. Fisher Space Pen. I always have one on me. Yo, he said I have 2 Lammies and a Kabeco on me right now. What? That's crazy. Bree says handwriting recognition converts handwriting notes to digital text and sends them to ChatGPT for processing. I'm down with that. Like I said, I just feel like an independent thing that I don't know. I don't feel good about this. But at $100, I would try it. Not 4 to 6. So I hope I'm wrong about that. Moving on. What do we got here in the summary? AI Grid explores how OpenAI's ambitious new AI pen project codenamed Gumdrop could define our relationship with technology. And this is another AI pen, I guess. This article was very difficult to follow here. What do we have here? Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for more information. The information on this is really sketchy. It's really sketchy, the information on this, but we do have some confirmation on what they're doing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Governments are going to use your chats with LLMs in court cases against you guys not really censored about it. Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care about security anymore. And if you're worried, the government's on your social media, so stop playing. and everyone's still on social media, so I think we'll be okay. I just think it's something you give up when you join the Internet of Things life in 2025, 2026. I mean, 5 for the year I think it started, but 2026 is definitely continuing that trend. Moving on, what else we have here? Meta RayBan displays get teleprompter. Now I think this is cool. Because this is something I was looking for, that killer app for the Meta RayBan displays. This could be it. As a teleprompter, yes, I will take this. Outdated UI and all, I will take it. If you could let me scroll with my finger, just randomly, just casually scroll the teleprompter, and so I can see and look at with the audience I want to be looking at, and oh my goodness, this is a perfect use case for displays in glasses. A perfect use case. What else we got here? Let's talk about the details here. The Meta RayBan displays are getting a new teleprompter feature, allowing the user to read notes while speaking. The people being spoken to won't know the speaker is using the feature, such as the technology hidden in the Meta RayBan displays. The 600 by 600 pixel display also allows the wearer to scroll Instagram, take video calls, or text or send text. Now, none of those features to me work really good with this device. The UI is dated and the controls are pretty finicky. But the discrete teleprompter is seamlessly embedded inside your display glasses with customizable text-based cards and simple navigation with Meta Neural Band. I think that's brilliant use of the technology. The Neural Band uses electromyography. Yeah. To read signals from the user's muscles to control the display in the lens. And we talked about this technology quite a lot on this show, where it kind of predicts what you're going to do. It's predictive technology. It can anyway. I don't think it works that way in the current iteration, but they're trying to push it to that boundary. And I think this is a really good use case for it. Now, controlling your apps, I don't think it's good for that yet. It's too finicky. It's definitely not controlling the camera or text messages. Writing is finicky, at best. I think voice is still good for that. Manual typing, still good for that. But as a teleprompter, that I think it will be good for right now. That might be a reason for me to lust over these again. I kind of lost my lustability for these, but that might be it. What do you guys think? Stair climbing vacuum robot from CES. Let's take a look at this. Can we take a brief gander at this thing? Yeah, let's take a brief gander at this thing real quick, chat. So this is interesting to me. Not because it's a robot, not because it climbs stairs, but because it uses the same mechanism that one of my favorite robots uses. It uses wheels as feet. That to me is so like perfect form factor for robots, right? Because it allows you to do things. All right, so this is what I thought of when I saw this. This robot is nothing compared to the robot I'm about to show you right now. If this robot I'm about to show you right now could vacuum, it would be the best vacuum cleaner in the world. This thing right here is crazy. So it has wheels for feet that it can spin independently, and then it could lock those wheels into place and use them as feet, right? And then do things like this where it can restrict the movement of the wheels to a degree to let it slide down. Oh my goodness. This is like the perfect form factor for feet for robots. I mean, it's just crazy. Through any event, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this robot. And I'm like, okay, they're doing it the right way. If they want to make a mobile vacuum cleaner that can do a few things, wheels for feet, it's the way to go. Definitely the way to go. Moving on, what else we got here? We have Lego unveils tech-filled smart bricks to play experts. Who cares what that says? The point here is that we got some updated Lego blocks that has a display on them that shows contextual information. Now, after going through this article, I'm like, Legos, they're not using this technology to its fullest. They have gold here. With those prongs could be charged in a certain kind of way to not like give you an electrical charge or whatever or anything, but slightly charged to give you a... Oh my goodness. The potential for this is crazy, and I don't think they see it. Those wheels for feet robots are going to be hard to run from when AI takes over. Yeah, you right. You're right, Mitch. There will be no running from them. Those things are going to be the end of humanity. Well, listen, I'm just talking about all right, can we agree that those wheels for feet is the perfect function and form for feet? Evolutionarily speaking, they're perfect. That's real. That lives with us on Earth. Yeah. Well, all right, moving on to Lego. These Legos are not being used to their full potential. I think there's such big potential with this, and the Lego Corporation is just not seeing it, and at least not like I am. This could be so big. Think about eInk, little ink displays on these that don't need but a bit of a charge to change what the image on there is, and the image could be letters, right? It could be numbers, teaching kids something durable, Mobius even. God, I'm seeing the possibilities for this, and they're not. They're not. So I just want to call that to attention before they do see it. You heard it here first. eInk poster. So coming out of CES, I think Kit talked about this the other day too on a live stream. Shout out to Kit. But we got a eInk poster here that's 41 inches in size. Let's talk about the details here. It comes with a pocketbook. This year, the company has turned up a far larger A1 size model called the Duna, which it says mimics the texture, depth, and tonal richness of painted paper. It's intended to act as a upmarket alternative to those big TV screens which display art when they're not being used for their intended purpose, which I think is a good use case for those larger TVs and smaller ones, honestly. Well, I mean, it's just screensavers, right? Unsurprisingly, such a fancy product also needed some fancy accessories. So its recruited Italian design house Pininfarina. Okay, let me know if I said that right. To help. It claims the credit for the Duna's precision engineered aluminum frame and its elegant stitched Alto Caltera, which I think is the material they're using. To celebrate the pairing, the Ink Poster app will enable you to view optional design sketches from the Pininfarina. I'm getting there. Archives on your screens. So it's going to be, it's a collaboration. I don't know what function, what technology they're using here for this. Anybody know what tech they're using for this? $6,000 for one. Okay, $6,000. So if you're interested in buying one of these new models, you will have to wait until April after the frames are exhibited at Milan Design Week in April. While we don't have full pricing details right now, you can expect to pay something in the region of $6,000 for one, says this publication on Engadget. Yeah, very interesting. They don't talk about the tech used though. Spectra 6 says Mitch. He's pretty sure. Can we blow this up? I don't know. $6,000. There's cheaper ones on the market that look equally as good in my opinion. Moving on. Next story we got up here is going to be how HP crammed a whole PC into a keyboard. Now, I don't know if I'd be cool with this, but I'm telling you right now, I've been thinking about, for decades, I've been thinking about small laptops, right? A small dockable laptop you can take with you on the road, come home, dock it to a computer, and it just has all your information. So to be the perfect thing for this would be your phone. If your phone could dock with your computer and turn to a full-fledged operating system, when you docked it, it would have all your information, and you just dock it with different monitors and bigger processors. That's going to be the day. I think we're going to get there at some point. But this is kind of that solution, but not as costly, right? They're just putting all of that information into a keyboard that you can just take around to any monitor with you, which is, you put a Raspberry Pi into a keyboard, you got something. And I think that's what they did here. Arduino, anybody? Very interesting. Let's talk about the details here. HP is announcing a new mini desktop computer at CES 2026, and the whole thing is housed in a compact keyboard. The Elite Board Gala looks like a normal office keyboard with either a capacitive or detachable USB-C cable, but inside it is an AMD Ryzen AI 300 series chip, stereo speakers, RAM, storage, a fan, and ports. All the things to make up a computer. You just plug the keyboard into a monitor up to a dual 4K display via daisy chain connection, turn on the included and prepared Bluetooth mouse, and you're good to go. So included and prepared. Okay. Pretty nifty. I think they called it here, but I don't know. You can still got to carry a keyboard around, which is still pretty unruly in size. It's unruly and ungangly. But there we go. Pretty nifty. This isn't totally a new idea, as similar Raspberry Pi 500 exists, like I just mentioned, but that is a single board computer running Raspberry Pi OS. The Elite board isn't likely to blow the doors off a proper desktop or small form PC in terms of performance, but its AMD Kraken point processor options ranging from Ryzen AI 5 350 to a Ryzen AI 7 370 Pro should be more than capable for office work and productivity apps alike. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Would you care if your company gave you if the company gave you one of these instead of a company PC? Would you take it? Would you be happy with it? How would it fare? The Rock says small dockable laptop. You're describing Samsung Dex. Yeah, but better than Dex. Like Dex is good. But like Dex. But just like your mainstream operating systems like Windows and Mac OS. I think that would be cool. Have some coffee. Cheers, everybody. The best part of waking up is dun in your cup. Okay, all right, we're moving on. Yeah, I think that it's interesting. Like I said, not something that hasn't been done before, but I wouldn't want to carry around a keyboard. It's unwieldy. I think that's the only thing we can say about that. All right, chat. Let's get on to the eInk stories, shall we? Maybe one day. If I had enough RAM in my computer power, I'd be okay with my work giving me this. Okay. I mean, it beats carrying a whole PC, right? I mean, well, no. I mean, they're giving up laptops now, right? I mean, at work, no one's getting desktops anymore. Am I wrong? Have I been out of my office cubicle life that long that I don't know? But I think when I was getting out of that life, they were giving out laptops, not desktops. And so, would this be a? Would you rather this over a laptop? Yeah. All right, so moving on here to eInk, we got Nib Progress. So we don't have much in the eInk space to talk about here, and plus we're nearing that hour mark for the show here. We're nearing it. I'm trying to keep it to an hour. You guys trying to keep it to an hour. All right, so I wanted to show progress on the stone nibs that we've been talking about all week. So I showed progress of these. We still have desktops here at our labs that are really beefy. Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I mean, labs are different. You kind of need a different level of processing if you're in a lab. So I can get that. But the default is laptops. Yeah. So Dr. Ling, so I can get why in the labs you would still have computers because you still need a bit of processing power in the labs for a lot of work. But for regular office work, I think laptops are going to be what they're doing. We get desktops at the hospital for cancer research who need a lot of, see, the same thing. If you're in a lab environment where you need that kind of processing power, I get why labs. And now that I'm thinking about it, when in my last lab job, they were all, no, I'm sorry. My last lab job, they didn't have desktops. They had laptops. But they weren't really doing any serious work in my last lab job. My last lab job was, I think I talked about this a few times, but it was Antiplay doing anodizing, chemical plating. And I worked in the solutions lab. So more like QC. Yeah. Solutions QC. But the point is, in those labs, they weren't doing serious computing. They were just keeping track of data. They weren't modeling anything like a lot of labs would be doing. Our industry still runs on desktops, says eInk, but all in ones. Okay. I mean, they're basically laptops with big screens. By the way, Android 13 and 4.1 on the Tablet C Pro is big eInk news deal. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, and I definitely think it's a big deal. Jay. I think Onyx figuring out how they can update the Android series, even though it's just Android 13, is still huge because that means they can do it, and that means they can get other versions more later, more current versions, if you will. So yeah, big deal. And I thought so too when I heard about that. But yeah, that is huge. That is huge. All right, so Nib Progress, and you guys throw out any eInk news you guys might want to talk about while we talk about these nibs here, because yeah, I'll take any of the conversations you guys want to lock in on. But while we talk about this, what? Oh, chat. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh no. What happened here? Oh, chat. What happened? We gotta get the top down camera going. It's what? Holy cow! Okay, all right. Bear with me for a moment. We gotta get the top down. Bam. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I've been showing all week, and let's go and zoom down here a little bit. I've been showing all week my progress on these nibs here. So I showed them as, chunks of rock that we got here, and basically we're talking about jade, nephrite jade and agate here. But and I'm going to henceforth refer to these just stone and gemstone nibs, just so you guys know. So whoa, too high up. Okay, we'll keep it down here. So these are it here. Can I get a white background here? Yeah. All right. Does that help? No, that didn't help at all. All right, that's better. All right, so what we have here is we have on the left we have black jade, which is just a really dark green nephrite jade, And then we have here the actual green jade we can see. These are not polished yet. They aren't rounded at all either. These have just been carved and into the shape that I need them to be in. And now we'll round them later and polish them later as well. So the next one after the green jade is we got it was a black agate, but after carving and shaping, it's gotten a more translucent. And I'm wondering if I could, oh boy. Oh yeah, we can see that. Okay. So it's gotten more translucent as I carved it, right? And next to it we have another agate, which was a brownish agate, had some marbling in it, was dark as well, but it's gotten more translucent with a more wood grain kind of look to it. It's really cool looking. Jay. All right, I got you, Jay. I just read Jay's comment. I don't know if you heard about the new nibs I have going out to the testers. That's why we're testing. I'm also going to show the new nibs here in a second, but the new nibs the sleeves are stronger, so they're not as brittle as the ones that I had before. So I realized that was a sticking point for the sleeve, and I've rectified that problem. So we talked about that on yesterday's show. If you guys want to see some testing, was that yesterday's show or the day before? I think that was yesterday's show. It might have been Monday's show actually. It was Monday. That was Monday. I did testing on the new nib sleeves because of some feedback that I was getting from the testers of how they were probably a little too brittle for what I was trying to do with them. I strengthened them up. I went to a whole different resin for printing it. So they're rock solid right now. But I'll be sending those new ones out to the testers as well. So thanks for the feedback, Jay. And thanks all the testers for the feedback, because without that feedback, I wouldn't be able to improve. I'd still be stuck on what I think is good. And now with other people using them and getting that feedback, I know, okay, well, this needs to be improved. That needs to be improved to make this a functioning product. But everyone should be getting the new sleeves with new crystal nibs in them in a week. So we'll get that out to you guys in a week. So you guys will have those in the mail. But in the meantime, the new formula I got here, I'm going to show that to you guys as well. I got the black and the clear. So, but moving on to the stone nibs here. And how did it? Actually, I should probably put out a Q&A or questionnaire. There we go, a questionnaire. That'll be good. I'm gonna put together one of those. But next to the agate nib here, we have another agate, and it's like it was like a cloudy agate, like a white agate, but it kind of gotten translucent or translucent as well. And then beside the last translucent agate, we got the crystal nib, which is totally transparent here. So that's how they came out. And I think I have some pictures here actually of some of the ones and what they looked like before they got done. Oh, there we go. So we have this. This is the jade. It's not totally formed yet, but it's cut and kind of formed. And that's one of the agates right there that I just showed you guys. That's actually this. That's actually this one in the middle right here. They're the same thing right there. So just show you how they look when they're a little bit bigger and what they kind of look like when they get down to this size. I always think that's interesting. Another look at that. And those are how they looked before I started the whole process there. And a couple more looks of the blacker agates that ended up being a little more transparent than that once they got down to size. And another look at the jade too. So just very interesting process. Just want to show you guys a little bit of progress of where I am. All this stuff will be on the new channel and that I'm getting together, and I think I've got together now. I think I'll launch this channel in the next week or so. Rants about making, and we'll be talking about all the processes, and I'll be showing a lot of the video and footage that I got behind the scenes of this process on that channel. So it'll be cool. It'll be fun. Oh yeah, now the sleeves. So this is what I want to get better at, which was the sleeves here. Can we get back here? So I got Lots of different prototypes for the sleeves. So I showed the older prototype for the sleeves before, because now I'm making my own sleeves. So that's why I'm doing a lot of testing right now, is because I'm going from buying the Lamy sleeves and having to decore them, because you have to cut them, and that harms the integrity of the nib sleeve in itself. So this process here is just they're gonna be made already hollowed out. You don't have to cut the nib to get the core out. The integrity of the actual nib stays intact. So that was the point of this whole venture, was to make something that's already hollowed out, that's as strong as the ones I get from Lamy, and that's these right here. So these are as strong as the ones I get from Lamy. I'm gonna figure out a more scientific way to measure the strength of these, the tensile strength, and maybe the elongation, and like the point at which they bend and break rather. But the point is, through my testing, rudimentary testing of the Lamy/Amazon nibs that I've been using for the process, comparing those against my own creation here, they're similarly strength and as strong as the ones, if not maybe a little bit stronger than the ones I get from Lamy. So, but anyway, that's these right here. So the first one I showed was this one right here. I think, no, it's this one right here. So the first one I showed was this one right here. Let's get down here a little bit more. So this is the new nib here, which is the first one I showed. It's the new resin I'm going with. It's super durable, super tough. Like, it's already hollowed out. It's the perfect shape that I need it to be. And I may redesign the head to a different shape. If I do anything, that'll be the only thing I do to this, is redesign the head. But other than that, this works perfectly. It fits all of the nibs. It fits every pin I have. And I'll do demonstrations on that tomorrow when I actually get some made. Maybe Friday. By Friday, I'll have some in every variant made, and we'll do some testing on those to show you guys how they work out. But as far as creating a hollowed out nib, like, this is almost a year's worth of work, and just research, designing, redesigning, trying to find the proper material, trying to find the proper machine to do it, and then learning how to use said machine. And I said this before, but this is such a feat that I went to many companies, tons of companies, to get them to make. I didn't want to make this myself. I went to tons of companies to say, hey, can you make this thing? No one said it could be done. Everyone was like, you can't make something that small without extrusion. I go to extrusion people who do extrusions, like, you can't do that with extrusion. You have to do micro plastering or pasting. I'm like, does anyone know how I can I'm telling you, I went through months and months of that before I was like, you know what? I need to research a way that I can do this myself to see if it can be done. And here's the result of all that time, research, and effort, and blood, sweat, and tears. Not blood, but sweat and tears for sure. How many people did I lose with that? I didn't. That's what's up. You guys are troopers. I really appreciate you. All right, so so these are the black ones. Let me go back down here. So these are the black ones here. So the black, I'm going to offer black, white, and clear. What I think I want to do is offer the black sleeves like this, and this is the transparent black right here. So it's not total black, which I like. The nib, or the head of the nib or the sleeve is going to be like a total black, but the sleeve you can see here is it's somewhat transparent, which I really do love that characteristic of this particular resin. The color is called lava, so it's black but somewhat transparent. So you can still see the nib inside, even though you'll have a black head to kind of get your bearing for where you're putting the pin, which is some feedback I got too about the clear nibs, which I'm about to show you now. So this is my first print of the clear nibs with the same resin mixture that I'm using for the black ones. So I just got a clear version of that. Same strength, same everything. It's just a clear version. So this is that right here. And I'm going to use the clear for the stone nibs and the gemstone nibs so you can see what you got, because they have some color to them anyway. So you'll be able to see the tip of those actual nibs there. And for the crystal nibs, maybe I'll put those in here so you can actually see where the head of the crystal nib is, because that's some of the feedback I got is people are like, oh, it's interesting to have it clear, but maybe you can lose where the tip is, and I can understand that. I'm shallow. I'm all about the aesthetics. But so I'll have these black ones for people who want to put the crystal nib inside of a darker sleeve, so they can keep a bearing for where the tip of the nib is at. And for people who like me, who are like, nah, I just want a really clear nib, I'll find it. So or like I said, for the stone nibs, but you have an option. So you have an option when you go and buy them to have a clear black or a white sleeve for your clear for your crystal nib or your stone nib or your gemstone nib. And that's how we'll do it. I think, well, how many people? Okay, we're good to go. All right. So that was that. Let's go to the chat. All right. The chat was enthralled in what I was saying. That's what's up. I appreciate you guys. So that is where I am with the stone nibs and the crystal nib. I got the sleeve. I think this is going to be it for the sleeves. Those are truly things of beauty. Thanks, Sheik. I really appreciate that. I really am proud of the work that I've done with this. It just, you don't understand. I was in the room almost crying when I got the print right, and I've tested it, and it was like, yes, this is the strength I've been looking for. And it's, it doesn't fail catastrophically. It flattens instead of just bursting into flames, like the restaurant scenario we talked about. Just, man, I really feel confident in this. And that's one of the things I kept telling Amy. Like, I want to feel confident about this thing that I'm doing. And these two prints have like upped my confidence in the ability to, even if something were to happen to the nib, the sleeve is durable enough to where it won't fail and you can still retrieve the nib out of the pen. That's my thing, right? And that's what I want people to be able to salvage their device if something were to happen to the nibs. Because like I said before, these nibs are not indestructible. If you drop them, they will break. They're just like we talked about glass pens, like how some people like the aesthetic and like the feel of glass pens. But they know that if they drop those pens, even though they probably spent upwards of $1,000 on those things, they know if they drop them once, it's a done deal. I don't think these are that fragile, but the point is, it's definitely something you have to take care of, right? This is definitely a step above. Like if you're just like, okay, I want to try something that's a little bit more fancy, if you will. But it feels like a dream because the crystal nib feels so good. And that's in combination with the sleeve and the nib, and the cushioning that you have between the two things. I don't know. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to get these out to you guys. And lots of people are waiting on these. And for everyone who's on the waiting list, I'm sending out another newsletter updating you on my progress on these. Those will be coming out, and they'll be shipping, and they'll be on the site really soon to buy. And for those who don't know, these are ceramic nibs here. And also something else to put out there. Aaron asked me the other day about how safe these are above and beyond the normal ceramic. Now, to me, safer is relative, right? But one thing that's for sure, they cause less wear because they're not as hard. Now, there's a hardness level and then there's a toughness level, right? Hardness is the ability for something to scratch another thing. Toughness is its ability to be broken, right? So that's the two differences. But as far as these stone nibs go, the stone nibs are not as hard, their scratchability, as ceramic, right? As the ceramic that we're using for the ink styles that we use now. So the EMR ceramic that we use now from like Supernote and from Viwoods, that's a zirconia. And zirconia is harder than these things. Now, what does that mean? It just means that the wear that occurs from you using ceramic on your device, that wear is going to be less if you use a stone nib because the stone is not as hard. It's going to cause less wear. Is it going to wear the surface of the screen? Yes. Over time, it will do that. And I think we talked about that too a lot on the channel. But the wear will be less with these because they're not as hard. Now, what does that mean for how does it feel? I think it feels good as well. It feels comparable to ceramic, if not better, in my opinion. And it just has that, I know that something special is here, is in this. You know what I mean? Just talking about the characteristics of some of these stones, agates. I have to do my research on the history of agates and how they fare as far as their history in the world, as far as how old they are, and what agates are what age. Now, I have done extensive knowledge or extensive research on jade and the age of jade and its properties, right? I do need to update myself and educate myself more on the agates. But agates were chosen because of their toughness, right? They're one of the toughest stones out there. And jade was chosen because of its toughness. It's one of the toughest. So not hardest, right? But toughest. Jade is tougher than diamond. It's not as hard as diamond. Diamond is tougher or harder than jade. Like diamond will scratch jade. But jade's tensile strength, its ability to withstand breaking, that is higher in jade than it is in diamond. What do we got here? Dollar special. Have you heard of they sung revolutionary tablets supposed to be 50 hertz refresh? Yeah, I have heard of those. I have heard of those too. But those have been trumped by what Modos is doing with their kits. Modos has kits that you can use with any eInk display. I think they're touting 75 hertz with those kits. So lots of growth in this eInk space as far as refresh rates go. My stone nib. Okay, we got the scribe pen. Yeah, they fall at the one that I gave you that fell out of the scribe pen. Jay, was probably for a smaller pen like the. Remember, I gave you two different sizes. So that one was probably for a smaller pen like the Norris, because the Norris you need a smaller nib. It don't fit standard EMR nibs. It takes those really thin ones. So that was probably for the Norris that fell out of the pen. I'm psyched to try the jade nib. Toughness is appealing. Yeah, toughness is definitely appealing for sure. And it's the toughest naturally occurring element on the planet, which is why I chose the nephrite jade. Very interesting material, and a very long history with humans sculpting just art and tools from nephrite. That's how tough it is. They used to sculpt. They still do sculpt tools from nephrite jade. So interesting stuff. Very interesting and old. The black jade that I showed you earlier, you guys. We're talking over 3 million years old, and that's that Wyoming jade. That's that Wyoming. Gotta hop off that link. Okay, catch it later. That link. All right, so I'm about to actually end this now anyway. It's been an hour. All right, you guys. That's gonna be the end of the show today. I really appreciate you guys for joining me. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for hanging out with me with the Nib Talk here. We held 15 people through the Nib Talk. I thought that was pretty interesting. So will every one of those be hand faceted? Yep. So all of the stone nibs are going to be hand faceted by moi for the time being, and maybe another gentleman in the future. But yeah, they're all hand faceted. They're all hand carved and all hand polished as well. So $100 nibs. Well, the Supernote nib is already $100. So how long does it take per nib? How does it take per nib? We're talking about maybe 2 to 3 hours. When all is said and done. And that's not including the cutting process from bigger rocks like this right here, which is an actual nice chunk of nephrite jade here. Yeah, it's very interesting process. All right, everybody. Drop some likes, absolutely. Like if you like. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, everybody. Discord link in the description. And I hope to see everybody here tomorrow. All right, everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining me. I'll get the shout outs for the chat crew tomorrow. Peace, you guys.